You know we got to talk recruits. It's a couple of recruits that me and Coop, actually more than a couple, that me and Coop want to talk about here on game day. So check us out. All that coming up here in about 10 seconds. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, talking OU football, college football, and sports in general. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the recruits for Oklahoma, some offers, some potential prospects, people that we're going after. Had a few that I thought was interesting to talk about, so we want to create this video for you. So regardless of your thoughts on the way the recruiting class is going, hop in the comments. Let me know if there's any players that we miss, anybody that you want to see or hear about that you want us to dive into, play some film on, whatnot. Jump in the comments, let us know on that, as well as give us your thoughts throughout the video of some of these prospects. What do you think about some of them we're going to talk about? While you're here, you do know the drill. Hit that like and subscribe button. Show some love. That helps us out, like I said, with the YouTube algorithm. And then share, because sharing is caring. So let's dive into some recruits and some updates that we've heard over the last few days. Let's do some recruiting updates. There's been a lot of movement in recruiting. I did a couple of videos for you all talking about some of the players from Ashton Sanders to Taylor Wine. I found out it's Wine, not Ween. I saw I was pronouncing it wrong. Taylor Wine. There's a lot of players that are being offered. Marcus Strong, we talked about him, and so I'm pretty excited about what these potential players look like. One thing that Preventable said recently in a presser is more so that, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the stars truly don't matter. He's told his scouts, his coaches, his coordinators to pay attention to the player itself and see if he's got that desire to be great. And look at the actual performance, look at the player, look at what he's doing, and don't be all wrapped up in the stars game. And I agree. I think that's the one thing that as fans, we like the ratings because it just makes you look good on paper. Mm-hmm. Teams look great on paper. And without recognizing that sometimes it's all about the talent behind them, you know, not only just the heart, but also their ability to develop and their capabilities of playing today. Like Ashton Sanders, I think he's a player that's ready to get on the field day one. Looking at the measurables for Taylor Wine, I think that he actually is probably ready to play now at 6'5", 6'6", 240. Like him and PJ Adebayo, I think that if you put them out there as bookends,
they're long.
240, I say by the time the season starts, they'll both be over 250.
Yeah. They're
long, they're strong. You can tell with their strength, and they get low. They got great legs and they dip.
Good,
like. Yeah. And there's no shade to Colton Vasek, you know, who decided to go back home to Texas. Like I said, I've said this in multiple videos that I get it. You know, he was a legacy, and I didn't think that he was going to last anyway. We've not won a single player from Westlake. I think that he's going to put on weight. He's 2.25. He's going to have to get up to 240, especially playing edge. Wine is already there. Adebayo is basically there, and he's 240 now. He'll be 255, 260 by the time, you know, they get him in the weight room. I want us to find those players that have the athleticism today and can go ahead and
grow into it.
Right, grow more into it and play like day one if possible. You know, and not that I want any of our juniors and seniors to get displaced. No, we got a class of those that are ready to hit the field too. But you want those ready to go hit the field now guys, because that makes a difference. So look at some of these. We got some other recruits to talk about, and we'll get some quick kind of thoughts, and then we'll move into we'll do some film down next week, especially as we prepare for Bedlam, because there's a long list of players coming in.
Yeah.
There's one player that jumped out that I've heard about, and I'm not sure what you've heard about this character. David Peavy. And DJ Peavy, he is committed at USC, committed on October 27th, so like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And then we offered him. What you know about this character?
6'4", 223. He's out of San Diego. So if you're not familiar with recruiting in California, San Diego is essentially a different state when it comes mentality wise to LA. So he's got no affinity growing up as a Trojan or anything like that. Like those, he may have liked them, but again, how long has it been since USC was relevant? He is, at 223, he's going to need to come in and put some weight. He looks like a thin, younger Dan Cody. So, I mean, he's going to need to come in and do some of that. I like his flexibility. It looks like when he's rushing in some of his video, it really does look like he uses his hands pretty well. He keeps his eyes in the backfield. And when he makes a decision, that's some of the stuff that sets him apart.
Yeah, and that's kind of some of the things that jumped out to me too, is the way he uses his hands and the way he moves. I think it's just fascinating that we just gave him this offer and he put it out there on that. So I was reading up on some stuff from the 24/7 crew, Parker Thune, as well as Brandon Drum, and they're wondering if he's going to make the trip here, potentially for Bedlam. Don't know. Not sure if it's going to be an OV. Not sure if it's going to be an unofficial where he has to pay his own way. But there's a chance that we could see him maybe that weekend. And we'll talk about that more next Wednesday, of all the players that we know that's going to be in town and what we're excited about and who we can think and potentially will go ahead and commit. So, all right, we've got some JUCOs here, but I'm going to jump right here first to the potential transfer in Jacob Lacey. Yep. Notre Dame, 4-star consensus when he was recruited in 2019 by Notre Dame, and he hasn't really played much there. And I think it's because it was a deep position for them. And now he is actually he's been here. He likes Oklahoma. Seems like his most recent visit was really, really good. 6'2", 285. So he's got the size. And I looked at his crystal ball. The last crystal ball I saw was Kentucky on him. But supposedly we're moving in strong on him. And he's really liking it. What do you think about Jacob Lacey?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, this is another guy borderline 300 pounds. The only concern I have really on him is, you've been in school here for 2 years and change, and you still haven't hit 300. But I don't know if that was planned or not. In watching Notre Dame, they have had decent depth at that D tackle and on the defensive line, just in general. But here's what is some comfort for myself is if Mark Stoops is wanting him to come play D line at Kentucky in the SEC, bring him on.
Yep,
bring him on right now. If we can make a push, again, does this cushion the blow for maybe not getting McDonald? Yeah, probably so. I think that Katie McDonald was going to be a good fit here, but with guys at IMG like David Stone, you're going to have maybe this is a little bit of a gap filler until 24 when we can get Stone in.
Love it. Okay. Here's another one that was interesting to me as well. Jordan Allen.
Not Josh Allen.
Even though I would like Josh Allen to show up. Even with that elbow, I don't think that would be that would be a bad one to have, right? Because Josh Allen still got that rocket. But up there in Kansas, he is committed to Kansas State right now. Oklahoma just gave him a offer, consensus 3-star edge, 6'4", 240. So another one of those big rangy edges that if Kleiman's squad is wanting them, I mean, they've been producing some pretty solid defensive ends as of late. He got an offer from, after committing to Kansas State, he got an offer from Tennessee and then now Oklahoma. What's your thoughts and feelings on our boy Jordan Allen?
I'm very, very excited about him. He uses his hands to move people where he wants them to go. He keeps his eye discipline is amazing. If you go and watch his film, he engages with the offensive linemen or tight ends or whoever's trying to block him, and his eyes are in the backfield. And then when he makes a decision, he moves. And so I'm super, super excited about him. He looks a little slim, but as far as that goes, I think that you get him Schmitty belt and it's going to make it work. He is another guy, again, 6'4", 240, approaching at, a 6'10" wingspan. Bring that type of guy on all day long. Bring that type of guy all day long. This is OU, but I look at a potential Thunder squad and how long the Thunder are. If you have Chet Holmgren, if you throw guys like PV and Jordan Allen and PJ Adebawore, you throw all these kids together with these massive arms, and if you can teach them proper leverage, you've got some danger out there, and we're going to need depth. And that's the big thing is we don't have depth. We don't have great, even last year we didn't have good depth. So we need to have guys who are going to slowly come in, and maybe a PV or Jordan Allen, maybe they are 10 to 12 snaps per game next year, but they will grow into more.
Yeah. No, that's solid. That's a great point. Needing those guys that can walk in and play day one. And that's something that we definitely have to look at here at Oklahoma, because we kind of need some of those guys. Okay. I got 3 players left. We're going to go quickly on these. First off,
yes,
Kendal Dolby. JUCO.
Yes.
He's a JUCO. And I've talked about this in the past. Not a lot, but I've talked about it. The one thing that I miss that Oklahoma used to do back in the early 2000s is they used to basically have NEO, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, as like a farm system for them. It was a pipeline it was the players that couldn't probably get them enrolled, couldn't get them into the school, probably need to get their grades together, or they wanted them to get thicker, bigger, stronger, and they would send them players up there to NEO. And so Kendal, 5'11", 180, out. He's up there at like I said, at NEO up in Miami, Oklahoma. And honestly, he might be something special. He might be something good. What you think about him?
Brandon Everidge. That's what I'll say. Brandon Everidge. Except for better ball skills. You look at his film, he likes to hit. He's
a hitter.
He's not a hitter. He likes to hit.
That's what I'm saying. 5'11", 180, and he's a hitter.
Yeah, when you see a Sean Taylor or an Ed Reed, those guys had tremendous ball skills, but when they met you, you didn't like what happened. And you remember Brandon Everidge. Brandon Everidge was, he was a person who arrived with ill intent. And that's what you see every single thing. But then at the same time, with the ball in the air, he's making plays on the ball, and he's looking back for the ball. He's looking at an opportunity. Even though he likes hitting, he's looking for an opportunity. So I want him. I want him today.
Yeah, I'm kind of jumped into a little bit of his film, and you want me to be honest, I may need to go ahead and show that off, because this is a lot better than I thought. These are some hands. Hold a second. Let me go ahead and share. Let me share this real quick.
While you're looking that up, you'll see one clip where there's a play off. He's off the ball and he comes back in and he lays it in. One time a guy's making a catch. One time guy isn't. But he may get some effort penalties, but I can handle that.
That was one of them right there. Yeah, he looks like that. He wants that ball. He wants to put it in his hand. He wants to hit somebody.
This might be one where.
Look at that. Yeah. Oh, look at that tackle.
It's off the ball.
Anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
He saw, he knew what was coming. He was prepared and he went after it. And that's something that's something I miss. I miss when a player would jump those routes. I miss when the defenders would go ahead and jump those plays. You know what's coming. Go after it. And trust your teammates behind you that will cover. Look at that. Jump the route. Mm-hmm. Trust the secondary behind you that they're going to take care of their spot for you. And you're going to jump. Look at that. Jumped up, went straight to the ball. As soon as he caught it, he didn't have time to even juke him. And I think that that's something that we've been missing in the secondary at Oklahoma is those guys that are willing to make those jumps. Right now, they're just sitting so comfortably. They're not trying to disrupt things. And I kind of want that. This is what we need more of. Look at that. It's just power bomb. Mm-hmm. We'll take it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sold on Kendal. I'm 100% sold.
I don't know what his speed is. Again, sometimes kids go to JUCO because of grades. But again, I don't care if he runs a 4.6. You look for the ball, you hit with some anger, and you make plays on the ball. Come on.
Hey, I mean, he could have been a. He's out of Springfield, Ohio. It could have been a lot of things that could have prevented him from really picked up on. But yeah, I'm totally with you on that. All right. KeyShawn Blackstock. O-lineman, 6'5", 315. How you feeling about him up there at Coffeyville Community College? He was a consensus He's a consensus 4-star JUCO on the 24/7 composite. Number 3 nationally, number 1 on the line. What's your thoughts on this JUCO?
He's a future offensive guard. He can come in here day one and compete. It doesn't look like he's got the speed to play outside at the tackle position, but it does look like you can't coach size. And at 6'5", 310, 315 and change, he still has the ability to trim up just a little bit. And I don't know if you remember, there was a Blackstock that went to Virginia, and I think he was a top 10 player just a few years back. So I know the Blackstock name usually has some a mean streak to it too.
Yeah, you're right. That is it's a good point. Didn't think about that. Daryl Blackstock. That's who you're talking about. Yeah, played in Virginia. That is what I'm talking about. That's a lineman that is definitely we could use just a little assistance on. We need some big guys on the line. I miss those big 300-pound linemen that we used to have. The old regime liked to get them smaller and more nimble and play with speed. Our line's done well on the run blocking, but it's great to add some bigger pieces to it. All right, last one. Think this one is cool, and I think this is one that is a PWO, so a preferred walk-on offer was put out to Casey Calmus as a legacy. You should know the last name. If you don't, get off my channel. I'm just going to say that now. Because you're obviously not an OU fan. But no, this is Rocky Calmus's boy. And I went and saw some of his film. Not bad. Small. He's in the Gavin Freeman size range. He's not the biggest guy. Yeah. Small but mighty.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. And I honestly thought that he was going to end up, I hoped he was going to end up being bigger, but I'm cool with his size. He's got some speed. He obviously hustles. And I'm kind of curious if he's going to end up wanting to come here as a preferred walk-on and earn himself a starting spot. What do you think about Casey when you looked at him?
So one little claim to fame is, way back in 2001, I got to lead a Bible study when Rocky was in it, and
nice.
He was one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite players to be around. Nobody accused Rocky of being a Rhodes Scholar or anything like that, but he was a football player. And you remember the number of times with him playing with the club, him playing with a broken forearm, and him just coming in. And I still remember that 0-1 Arkansas bowl game. I think it was the Cotton Bowl. And that's where I think we held Arkansas to like 100 total yards in in a bowl game, and that was just amazing. I think Hibble and Quentin Griffin, those between the national championship and that next year, I think we scored under 30 points total. So that being said, I want this kid to come in because he doesn't need to go anywhere else. There's no point if he comes here and he earns himself. That with seeing what Gavin Freeman's doing right now, that we're going to have a chance and opportunity to get him in there. Does he become, at Drake Stoops, that Wes Welker, that slot receiver? Does he come into something like that? He's going to be a team guy. It gets his dad back involved in the program. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm sold on it too. I mean, 5'11", 1D, wide receiver, DB, and outside linebacker. So it looks like, as you saw with that play that I just was showing, Coop was talking, looks like he plays that outside linebacker role, similar to his Pops. Pops more inside, but neither here nor there. He looks like he's got something special he could potentially be. Yeah. So I love that we gave him the offer. I do hope he gets a scholarship with us or even somewhere else, or potentially walks on and earns one here as a Sooner, because we would love to have him. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Unfair Sports. We're over here talking OU football, college football, and sports in general. Thank you, Coop, for joining as usual. While you're here, hit the like button. Helps us here on the channel as we continue to grow and provide you as much OU content as possible. Share, because sharing is caring, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And with that, we will chop it up with you all on a recap from Saturday's game. A couple of days. Peace.